If you work as a manufacturing facilities engineer, installing a new piece of equipment can be as complex as the machinery itself. From prep work to alignment and testing, it's your team's job to put it all together. That's why it's good to have Grainger on your side. With industrial-grade products and next-day delivery, Grainger helps ensure you have everything you need close at hand through every step of the installation. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
One's a Brit, one's a redneck, and one's a Kiwi. They want you to join them to discuss the mysteries of the world, the unexplained, and the unbelievable. Lock your door, grab your tinfoil hat, and prepare to have your mind blown.
So welcome to this week's episode of Across the Pond. I'm your host Steve from New Zealand, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts Dot from the UK and Clark from the United States of America. On the show this week, we will be discussing lithium deposits and the harm that it causes both geographically and to our health, and how wildfires, earthquakes and hurricanes seem to have a direct link in how lithium is obtained. Joining us on the show today is Abby at A Truth for You 22. To share her insights into the dangers of lithium and how government agencies have been bending the rules, so to speak, in their relentless pursuit in acquiring land to mine for lithium. So Abby, welcome. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. So look, firstly, for those who don't know what it is, exactly what is a lithium deposit?
A lithium deposit is basically a deposit of fine minerals. I mean, there's lithium, cobalt, and uranium. It's, I think, the very lightest metal. So it's not a heavy metal, it's a very light metal. And it's basically found in mountainous areas, national forests, Indian reservations, places like that.
Yeah, right.
And they use this stuff, like, what do they use? They use it in everything, right? Like the lithium, that's for the batteries, right?
Oh, yeah, it can be used in anything. They obviously use it for lithium-ion batteries, but they're also building lithium-ion battery facilities, which they're transitioning our power grid. So from instead of coal and oil, it's now going to be lithium, and then these nuclear power plants that are being built all over the place.
Yay. Sorry, Steve, go ahead. Continue with the questions.
Yeah, so that was one of my next questions. Obviously, uses for lithium, and so why are these places being mined? Why is it such a huge concern to the general public?
For many reasons. First of all, lithium can cause neurological issues. It is radioactive, just like uranium. America and the indigenous communities has a very long history dated back. With the materials. I mean, they cause cancer. They make people severely ill. You can research areas like the Salton Sea and the residents that live around there and the health issues it's caused. I mean, even in their immune system. It's, I mean, a million reasons. It pollutes the water. It pollutes the air. It's spontaneously combusts when it comes in contact with moisture.
Daggum.
So it's pretty awful stuff.
That's crazy.
And it takes millions of gallons of waters to mine brine. So you can research articles, many of even in Chile and places like the Colorado River causing drought because it takes so much water to mine this brine.
So that's killing all the plants. That's drying everything up.
Wildlife, aqualife, people.
Daggum. So all those movies that they show where they're doing, like there's like a mine close by. It might not even be a lithium mine, but like, a lot of these movies you'll see, they'll have a mine, and then what was that movie? Aaron Brockovich. Everybody got sick.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is how this is, but it's on a global scale, is what you're saying, right? I'm looking at a map right now. This lithium deposits, they are everywhere. It's the entire world.
Right.
I mean
and they're hitting the hot spots. They're definitely hitting the hot spots.
Yeah, that's some scary. It looks like there's a bunch down there in South Africa. It looks like I'm looking at it right now. It's showing the little dots. I don't know if that's for. Well, no, never mind. That's mineral deposits. I don't know if that's the same as lithium
It's the
deposits,
same.
but
It's lithium as a mineral deposit. Yeah.
uh, okay,
They might have a
okay.
lot of cobalt too. It just depends. Like I almost know every state based on the deposit now. So
Yeah, gum.
yeah, just because I've searched and searched.
I was going to say the lithium and the cobalt, do they go hand in hand for like batteries and
Yes,
things like
and
that? They do,
uranium.
don't they? And
Yeah.
uranium as well.
Right.
How do they actually mine the lithium? They don't dig it out the ground, do they? Is it injecting water into like the crust of the earth or something?
Correct. They go about 9,000 feet deep.
Right, so it's the
So it also
fracking.
causes land separation, and it can also cause earthquakes, which I've told you guys about. I have definitely seen a correlation in Mexico. I can't pronounce the name of the place, but so it just was interesting that they started to receive earthquakes around the 1960s in this location where they were mining lithium.
Yeah.
And I spotted it. Not only I also can see it from my air quality map that I use, where it's like these circles are not, they are perfect circles, absolutely perfect circles. You don't see that. It almost reminds you of like if a nuclear bomb went off and just poof, out perfectly.
I was
It's
going to
really
say,
wild.
is it a natural mineral or is it an artificial mineral, if you know what I mean?
I'm it's hard for me because I went down like a conspiracy theorist rabbit hole of, a lot of people believe that our mountains are old dragons or old giants, and that things like the Himalayan salt are actually parts of,
Yes, yeah, I've seen Clark do
I just
videos on
posted a
that.
video.
Yeah.
I just posted a video on the Himalayas and petrified giants. Yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff, man. I mean,
and so
if
it
you,
makes me wonder if these things are, part of that, because it's part of the same thing. I don't know if that makes sense.
I didn't even think about it like that. I mean,
But
that would make sense.
they use it for AI. And when you hear them talk about fusion energy, I posted a video about this. When you hear them talk about fusion energy and the Colorado River and the Hoover Dam channeling, these rivers, it sounds a lot like, fallen angel type stuff. It sounds like they're working with fallen angel type stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's way out there.
Yeah, well, I mean, but see, once you like, it probably sounds way out there to some people whenever they hear the word fallen angel technology.
Right.
But I was talking to David Shane about the old world real quick, and he said that a lot of these old world buildings that were built, they say they're built in the 1800s or whatever. They probably weren't. They look like they've been there for a lot longer. There's not even they didn't even put bathrooms and stuff inside these massive buildings. Just like
Yeah.
stuff like that makes you wonder. And then so that's a whole another rabbit hole.
It's like if you're a Christian and you're going through scripture, I kind of push you to look at the verses of stars, referencing them as angels or fallen angels. I think there's
Yeah,
two
like
different things.
the Book of Enoch. Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
luminaries and all, wandering luminaries and all that stuff. Yes.
And then when you listen to them talk about fusion energy and these power plants, they said it's basically like a star in a box. It's what Iron Man has in his chest.
Yeah.
And I know that they have had to have been planning this at least since the 1960s.
Yeah, go man.
At least.
You did a video on it, didn't you,
You
Clark?
know,
when you zoom into a star and what it actually looks like, with your camera. I'm sure you did a video on that.
Yeah, I did. I need to take some more of those, man. I want to get a daggum like big telescope, like what David Shane, he's got several of them, dude. And his stuff. Whenever you look through the eyepiece and you look at the star, like if you look at Saturn or Jupiter, if you actually look not through a P1000, but through an actual eyepiece on like a real big celestron or something, dude, I can't really explain it, man. It's hard to describe, but it's so bright. Like Saturn looks so bright. I mean, like it almost hurts your eyes. It's so bright, right? If it's that far away, and then the moons around Saturn, they look like little mini stars. They're like extremely bright too, but they're little bitty, and it just makes you wonder, man. I don't know. There's a lot of lot of questions about that, but it'll change your life. I highly suggest anybody, if you're ever around a high-powered telescope, to look at Jupiter, look at Saturn, look at the planets, and you'll have questions after you get done looking at them for sure if you go into it with an open mind.
So with these lithium deposits, I mean, you mentioned before that they're used as a power source for AI, and Trump said recently that if they're going to continue with the AI, that the way the future's heading is it's going to require at least double the amount of power that it's currently using. So, I mean, where else better to get this power from than lithium? People think it's under the guise.
If your brain is at full capacity with to-dos, birthdays, and dinner plans, meet Skylight Calendar. It syncs your entire family's schedule onto a sleek digital display, so you focus on important things like where you left your coffee. Right now, Skylight is offering our listeners $30 off their 15-inch calendars by going to skylightcal.com/talk. Go to skylightcal.com/talk for $30 off your 15-inch calendar. That's skylightcal.com/talk.
Of convenience and making your life easy, with EV vehicles and a lot of things like this. But what people don't realize, and if they look, there's a direct correlation between mining this stuff and these so-called natural disasters that are happening all over the place now. If you cross-reference them on a map, where these things are happening, in Maui, the LA fires, obviously North Carolina with the hurricanes, you're going to find huge lithium deposits underneath these areas.
I think we had it over here once. We had it with when they started fracking over here. It wasn't far from me actually. It was about 20 miles down the road, and they started just testing fracking, and it was in Blackpool. Don't know if you know where Blackpool is, but it's about 20 miles down the road from me. Started having earthquakes. We never have earthquakes really here.
Dude, that's weird, man.
So it got cancelled. They stopped doing it. They banned it in this country.
Oh shit! Because it was causing so many earthquakes and stuff.
They banned it here too. I won't say banned it, but when the whole oil thing was going on, right? The war between Russia and Ukraine was announced. There's all that, so we can't get our oil. Our gas prices are going up, but like he wasn't transparent about the kind of drilling they would be doing. He led America to believe that we would be doing more oil drilling, and that's not what he was talking about, because these lithium-ion battery facilities and these nuclear power plants, they are not going to be running on oil. And he goes up there and he says, so what I'm understanding is these nuclear power plants are going to be like the biggest hubs for our electricity, right, to power our power grid. But then like these lithium-ion battery facilities, they're going to be like the baby plants. And he says that he's like, they can run off of coal and whatever else. Well, no one even is questioning what whatever else they want to use means. That's lithium.
Oh,
That's lithium.
It's always
and then all the radiation
the
sickness.
You can go on Grok, right? You cannot find a lot of information on this. It's really odd. But if you go into Grok and you just type in Trump rushes lithium mining in America, it'll all come up. And it was right before he left office. But he's not the only one. There's multiples of other countries, like I said, like Bolivia, the Amazon rainforest burning down. I think it was like 34.7 million acres. And then China and Russia and America are all going to be mining lithium there. What do you know? And they're all of them, a lot of these countries are getting rid of their governments. So when we're seeing protests about countries getting rid of their governments, and we're being told by the mainstream media it's for this reason or that reason, a lot of them have done kicked out their leaders because of lithium mining fraud. Chile, Portugal, Bolivia. Like it gives me goosebumps to talk about, to know that like it's all over. Like every country, even Australia. Even Australia is doing this.
I saw that on the west side. There's a massive lithium deposit, it looks like, on the west.
Yeah, you can research Victoria, Australia wildfire. And they got hit again. Like they hit these areas more than once. Just kind of like how they did LA. And then you could research Victoria, Australia, and lithium deposit.
So that's the connection between the wildfires, isn't it? Where they're having all these wildfires is where all the lithium deposits are.
Absolutely. I found so many that I started making a written log because I couldn't mentally remember. And then last year with the amount of fires that I'm talking thousands, no one even heard about these. I couldn't even keep up. I was like, I think I'm about to give up on this because they're really hitting everywhere. right now.
What about Canada? Whenever that thing happened in Canada, what was like a year or two ago, and then it was New York got smoked out with all that yellow
Yeah.
smoke because from the wildfires. That was lithium too, wasn't it? Is there
Yeah.
lithium there as well?
Oh my gosh, yes. I have a map. I use like Zoom Earth for my fires, and there was one point in time where it was just Canada, the west coast of America, which is weird. We didn't hear about that on the news, but pretty much the entire west coast of America, and then Brazil. Those were the only three places on fire.
Imagine
Which,
that.
and they're all like the biggest leaders of lithium. Like what Trump said, he made us number one in mining. We were number
Yeah.
three in minerals, but now we're number one. How do we get to number one with when he wasn't in office? How did we?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did we stumble upon all these lithium deposits out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Just a
The way
coincidence,
it's
huh?
narrated, the way it's narrated, he's making it out as something to really be proud of and brag
Yeah.
about. But what's really happening is, oh, we're number one in minerals. It's like, well, okay, so how much of the countryside have we decimated to become number one? Yeah,
Every
no,
every country's genocide right now is looking different, but it's all for the same thing. Let that sink in.
yeah.
With
Oh, it's
Ukraine
just
and Russia, you can research articles. Russian troops headed towards Ukraine's largest lithium deposit. They literally
Oh,
put this stuff in articles. Like, research how interested Israel is. They claim to have a space laser that can search any lithium deposit in the world.
oh, I believe that.
And what Trump wants to take over Gaza now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
I was
surprise.
fixing to bring that up. Yeah,
And
it just
these
ever
people
so.
and these people in Palestine, much like the farmers in Idaho and the LA fire hydrants, couldn't get water.
Oh, I didn't think about that part. Yeah, so back to that, the fire. So in Hawaii and LA,
Right.
they cut all the water supply, right? Like days
And in
before.
Idaho, yes, and in Idaho, and several. I think it was. It's not Kamloops, but there are several places in Canada. I don't want to say the. I think it's Cochrane, is the pronunciation. Same thing. So they shut off the water. They had a huge water main break. They were having like this wild horse race thing that the public was like freaking out about because the public wasn't allowed to use their water, but they were having all these people come in from all over the world for this major horse thing. What do you know? They have lithium, and what do you know? A fire.
Oh my goodness,
Same thing.
dude.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just too many coincidences for it to even be a coincidence. You know, too many, too many.
Yeah, I don't believe in coincidences. I mean, you just have to look at really what's going on. Obviously, the Maui fires from 2023, and then you look, they've been installing large-scale lithium-ion battery storage systems there for a while. And
Right.
then we've got the fires in LA, and like you mentioned before, in the Salton Sea, that's actually known as Lithium Valley. It's the
Right.
largest untapped lithium reserves in the United States, containing enough lithium to meet US demands for decades to come. So, you have a wildfire in this place and completely decimate the land. All of a sudden, the land's worth nothing and can be bought for pennies on the dollar. And then the government's free
Yeah.
to do whatever they want with this land, mine into it, and extract these lithium deposits.
Yeah. And you'll also see they find a lot of lithium in volcanoes as well. So
Is that right?
volcanic eruptions are quite good for them, and that's what happened. I forget. I don't know if one of you guys has access to a computer, but there was a volcano recently in Hawaii that has been erupting the last few years, and it's like the only geothermal volcano they have. It supplies electricity to areas of Hawaii.
Yeah,
Oh,
right. So
geez.
that's probably something that's sort of heated up on with intention of blowing the lid on purpose, really, isn't it? It's not just a randomly occurring volcano.
Dude,
Yeah,
there was a video of a volcano struck by lightning. Did y'all ever? And then all of a sudden it erupted, dude. Right when the lightning bolt hit it. I'm trying to find it now, but I forgot where it was at. But I think it was one of those major areas that's got the lithium deposits. No joke. I'm trying to find it now. That was,
Might be
and I thought it was a
Thacker
fake video,
Pass.
but it wasn't. What is it?
There's the volcano in Thacker Pass. That's what the federal government sees from one of the dozens of Indian reservations they targeted, and who got wiped off the face of the earth with a wildfire. It's just so
Yeah,
disgusting.
and that it really is like because with the Indians, Native Americans, my wife, that's her family, so she's she is, just a small percentage, but she knows a lot. It's Cherokee, and she knows a lot of, a lot about it and everything. And she's really opened my eyes the past couple of years about how, I mean, they got totally screwed, completely screwed. I
And the
mean,
same thing is happening all over again.
yeah, it's like what the now, yeah, now they're taking, like you're saying, they're taking over all the reservation. They already don't have anything, and we already took all of it, and then they're just screwing them more and more, man. It's
I
bullshit,
mean,
is what it is. I mean, it's
even
not okay.
even if you go state by state, I think everybody's jaws would hit the floor. And this isn't like, it's like we're reliving the past because they went through this already. They already tried the uranium mining, specifically in Wind River Indian Reservation in Wyoming. They've already tried this. It gave everybody cancer. It made everybody severely sick. And so that's why they set these laws in place that Trump just decided to look past because these people were getting deathly ill, dude. It was killing wildlife. It was killing people. It was killing aqua life. I really just picture the show The Fallout now.
Yeah, yeah, a
It's
dystopian
not, yeah,
wasteland.
it's not funny.
No.
I'm just, desensitized maybe a little bit. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
reading
well,
about it right now, the
it's
Wind
funny
River
that.
thing, and go ahead, Steve.
Sorry, Clark, you go.
No, you're good, man. My bad, dude. Go
Oh,
ahead, buddy.
so polite.
Oh, no,
So
I was just going
polite.
to say, I was just going to say on that, when people don't realize the effects that it sort of has on their health, and they think, oh, the world's all going, EV, and we need these lithium batteries for different things. So it sort of makes sense to mine for it. But yeah, they have no idea that the aftermath that it's gonna, what it's going to affect them. Like you're saying, it's damaging to their health, and it has, surface water contamination, and it affects their drinking water, and it gives them respiratory problems, and it affects the ecosystem with degrading it. Landscape damage. There's a whole list of things that like after effects that go on, which are more damning than good.
And that's why you'll find so many creators like the man in Wyoming who was recording the ground separation and how his road shifted 5 feet to the right, and then the cracks went feet down. Like these cracks were massive, and there was more, and they just removed people. They completely remove their videos, and it's like, why? Why?
Yeah,
Because I think
yeah.
people like me will start connecting the dots. As soon as I started posting about lithium again, just been targeted again on my account.
Yep,
It's just,
your views have went
Yeah.
down and everything.
Yeah, you're not allowed to post about truth, are you?
and they're removing followers. It's just like the same games they play over and over again.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
see what they're doing.
mine jumps up and down too. Like it was at 677 this morning, and then I woke up and it was at like six. It was like 675, like 1,000 followers just vanished, and then all of a
Yeah,
sudden, 30 minutes later, they reappeared. It's like, what are you doing, TikTok? I mean, what? I don't know. Since the ban and the comeback, it's almost every video of mine, probably 2 out of 3 videos get hit with community guidelines over. It'll say like low quality or misinformation or just some BS reason to kill your views is what they do.
yeah,
Makes me sick.
Yeah, it's funny that
Well,
you say, like, well, it's not funny, but it's peculiar, when you say about, earthquakes and volcanoes and stuff having something to do with these lithium, because, Chile's a big manufacturer of lithium, and they sit
yeah,
on what's called the Ring of Fire, and so earthquakes and weather modification obviously play a huge role in extreme climate change over there in Chile.
yeah,
And yeah, I mean, you just have to look at different places around what they're doing in the States. With these hurricanes, I believe they were purposely sent up to decimate parts of North Carolina
mm,
because it's the North Carolina tin spodumene belt, which is a region, it's one of the largest hard rock lithium deposits in the United States.
yeah.
hmm.
They
And
This one guy was asking me. He was like, "Why would they hit? I think it was Cave Rock Mountain, and that was 60 miles away from, like, I think what was the area that got hit with the hurricane with the lithium
Chimney
deposit?
Rock,
Yeah, was it Chimney
Chim,
Rock?
it was Chimney Rock, Asheville. Uh, that was the main. That's the main two people talk about is right there.
Well, he was like, why wouldn't they hit the largest lithium deposit? Why are they 60 miles north? And I said, well, waterways are there. He's like, are you insinuating that they're? I'm like, yes. because you can research cloud seeding the Colorado River for 10 years, and then you can research Colorado River in a drought, and then you can research Colorado River lithium mining. It'll all pop up right to you. And these rivers are not being used for mining; they're being used for other things. I told you guys they use the the Hoover Dam uses the Colorado River, and that is why LA ran out of water. They didn't have any water because they're mining.
Golly, man. So they ran out of water because of the lithium mining, which nobody even knows about this, man.
Right,
That's just,
right.
nobody even knows about this, really. Not really. And people don't want to listen. I really hope they take the time to listen to what you're saying and everything because it's a big deal. So the next question, what can we do about this? I mean, what can we as a society do about this right here? Is there, if anything, because it's already going global. So there's really not any options, is there?
No, no.
Yep.
I don't want to. I don't want to sound hopeless. I don't want to sound like
No.
a doomsday person. But they've had, like I told you guys, they knew about this. They had at least known about it since the 1960s, and I can find articles that date back to 2016 when when Trump and some of these mega tech companies like Bill Gates, they were all getting together talking about our power grid. Like, and yes, because everybody's doing it, I don't see it. I mean,
Yeah,
the same thing that's happening in Brazil and Portugal and all of these countries that are uprooting their government, kicking them out. Like Mexico even did it. And Mexico has a very, very large, But what the point is that they just, like America, how we have every 4-year terms, they just pass it off to the next person. And everything that they're exposing of each other, nothing's ever going to be done about it. They just get the people pissed off and their plans proceed.
That's right.
So,
Two wings of the same bird. That's exactly right.
You were
I
mentioning,
mean,
Andy, about the lithium deposits in the Amazon.
yes.
Yeah, what's
They
going on
had
there? I guess same thing,
six,
drilling and mining for it and decimating the
yes.
ecosystem.
I found articles talking about how Russia was interested in these deposits and how the citizens were actually worried that Russia was interested in the lithium deposits there because Russia has a habit of creating or causing ecocide, wiping it out, for their mining. And I think I had mentioned on the last podcast, I found it very interesting that the three countries that were supposedly all hate each other, which was like Russia, China, and America, all are mining Brazil and the Amazon rainforest for lithium.
Yeah, isn't
Dude,
that funny?
44 million acres of the
Yes.
Amazon was burned last year. 44
Wow,
million?
44 million. It's
And
unfathomable.
which is interesting because that's about half the amount of land they found available for lithium deposits, which was around 60 million. So they found 60 million acres of lithium deposits, and it just so happened that 34.7 million acres of the Amazon was burned to the ground.
It's also rich in cobalt
And
as well in Brazil.
yeah, and the Amazon rainforest, if no one knows, produces 20% of the Earth's oxygen. So it's literally the Lorax in real lifetime happening.
Yeah, and that's why they talk about why the trees, or possibly why the trees may have been so large back then. A lot of these mountains you see, they look like giant tree stumps, and then people say, "Well, who cut the trees down?" We don't get. We know. What I'm saying is, oxygen was a lot more prevalent. And then even creatures and stuff were a lot bigger. Back then. If they kill all the oxygen in the Amazon, I mean, what's where does that leave us in 5 or 10 years? I mean, it's you're right. The whole fallout scenario is pretty scary stuff if you really stop and think about it. I mean, everything is pointing right towards it.
Right now, we've just been living in Hunger Games. And how interesting was it that at Biden's inauguration, everybody was dressed as Hunger Games?
Yes, I
Yeah,
noticed that. Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody's
they
talking
were.
about how these celebrities look like Hunger Game elites, you know? And then you see that Starlink and then Amazon or Jeff Bezos or whoever is donating Starlink or whatever to the districts and water. And it's like freaking wild to watch from the
Oh
outside.
yeah. I forgot. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
this district you get the Starlink because
Mm-hmm.
this and that, and you don't, and blah blah blah, and Yeah, man. Oh man.
Yeah. And so you have all these poor families and they're donating to the districts. They want our money for LA. You know, I'm a gamer and I'm freaking on Call of Duty. And they have things on Call of Duty where you can click on so I can donate to the LA fires. And then
Is it
how
right?
interesting is it is that in Fortnite, it's Hollywood.
Wow.
Wait, it's what now?
In Fortnite, it's
Yeah.
Hollywood. It's LA.
Yeah. Fortnite it? Oh, it's like a destroyed version of LA or something. Is that
Yeah.
what you mean?
Yeah.
Imagine that. Pre-programming right there. What was that movie with what was that guy's name? It was called LA something. It was made in the 80s, or it was Kurt Russell was in it. It was about he rode a surfboard and he surfed one of the big tsunami waves through LA. It was
Escape from
just a
LA.
basic yeah, Escape from LA. It was just
Yeah.
a basic apocalyptic movie. You know, there's been so many movies just, like that about the end of the world and all this, and then whenever I was younger, people always talk bad about conspiracy theorists, and you know what I mean? And they'll say, well, they're saying this and they're saying that. Dude, every conspiracy that I've heard, like every one of them has come true, man. And there's a few that they have yet to come true, but just like one more win for the conspiracy theorists is what they say, but it's not really a win because I know y'all don't either. I don't really like knowing all the things that I know and I know
Yeah.
are probably going to happen. It's like, well, you got to keep a positive mind though and a positive attitude. Even if we can't do anything about it, we still got to live our life. And I just want my kids. We've all got kids, so we just want our kids to grow up in a good, safe world, man. I mean, it's not asking a lot, it really isn't, but it's gonna be some trials and tribulations along the way, I do
Yeah,
believe.
I think awareness is half the battle because a lot of people just spend their lives just looking down at their feet and they're completely oblivious to the world around them. So we may not be able to stop this train from rolling, but I think being aware of it and sort of educating others on the dangers of it and the perils and like you say, this we're in a simulation. The future's already written. Like when we watch these movies and it's depicted as fiction, it's actually neurolinguistic programming. It's trying to program your subconscious into what's to come, and when it does happen in real life, it's not such a shock to your system because your subconscious has already seen it before, type of thing. So
Mm.
yeah, I think knowing has half the battle really, and we may not be able to do much about it, but we can certainly educate others and help bring these situations to light.
Yeah,
I know
very true, man.
I think my
California's.
main focus was just trying to wake people up to like where they're located, what minerals they're located by, what like lithium ion battery facilities. Like a lot of these people don't even know that these facilities are even being built, that they're even going to be around them, and they are using our waterways to do it. You
Yeah,
know.
and that's exactly it. Like it's all under the guise of convenience and it's green energy, EV. I don't know what it's like in your guys' country, but definitely here in New Zealand, there's a massive push for everyone to ditch their combustion engine and go for it's marketed in the way of it's clean green energy, but most of these people that are buying these vehicles thinking they're helping the planet, they have no idea where this the lithium batteries that are used to power these cars. They have no idea where these minerals are being mined from or what's actually happening to the planet. And if you look at it in hindsight like that, like a combustion engine is far nicer and cleaner for the planet than what an EV vehicle is, and having to in terms of manufacturing it and making it, and then
Right.
there's the other thing as well with the battery life. Like I'm not really familiar with it because I don't have an EV vehicle and I probably never will. But and normal combustion engine car, when that stops, it goes to the car wreck as it gets crushed or whatever. The metal can be recycled and there's lots of sort of usable parts from that vehicle. But when an EV vehicle dies, what can you do with it? You can't crush it or bury it. Like the lithium can't go back into the ground. Like we're just going to end up with a graveyard around the world of all these unused, like broken down EV vehicles.
Oh,
It gets
I
pretty.
didn't
That's
think
why I say.
about it.
That's why I say it's going to look like Fallout. It's going to look like all those predictive programming movies where all these cars are stopped. Where I thought it was
Dude.
interesting too that we saw and I don't want to get off topic, but we saw the Northern Lights. I don't know about you guys, but we saw the Northern Lights over here for about 9 months straight, in areas that we don't see the Northern Lights at, and they're geomagnetic storms and they cause disruptions and all kinds of things.
Yeah, we had those
And
a
you
So
could
couple
I
see
months
it with
ago.
your phone too.
Yeah.
A lot of it you couldn't see unless you used the camera on your phone. I remember that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
what
I
the
got hit with
heck?
misinformation.
Yeah.
I got demonetized. Actually, I got demonetized on Facebook for posting. I'm pretty sure the first time I got demonetized, first of many, was I'm pretty sure when I posted about which I didn't go. So what are you saying about the with the aurora borealis and stuff like seeing the northern lights? Are you saying that has something to do possibly with the lithium mining as well, or no?
I'm just saying that I'm saying that I feel like they're preparing for like a grid lockdown almost. Do you understand?
Yeah, they've
Or
been saying that.
and so when they have these geomagnetic storms, and we had I think a level 5. I think that's the highest, but I'm not certain. It can cause all kinds of disruptions and everything. I mean, planes for one. um,
Yeah, knocks the GPS
cell
off, doesn't it, on
phones.
planes
I
and sat
mean,
navs?
yeah, not completely. Yes, knocks the satellites out.
Have you
And I
guys seen? Sorry to interrupt. Have you guys seen the movie Leave the World Behind? It's
yeah.
sort of what you're
Yes.
talking about there. That's like that. The strangest thing I find about that movie is it's directed by Obama. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what's
Yeah.
he doing behind the director's lens? There's lots of messages within that movie where, again, it's neurolinguistic programming. It's pre-programming your mind as to what's to come. Like like you say, that the grid's knocked out and no one has internet or power and they can't access their money and there's EV vehicles just driving themselves into destruction and causing chaos
Mm-hmm.
on the streets, or that's definitely going to be what happens in the future when everyone's EV and they go, you know what, I don't actually like this city driving anymore, and then someone's going to push a button and everyone's vehicle will just stop dead in the street. I mean, what people are going to do then?
Yep, 2026, man. It's an automatic. They will automatically. It's a requirement law now that they signed a while back. There has to be a kill switch in every single vehicle from 20 starting in 2026. So as of I guess 2026 next year, they're gonna have a kill switch on every. Now, I think this is not just EV either, dude. This is all vehicles. So, and they try to, like you said, Steve, the guise of, oh, it's just going to be safer, this and that. In case the bad guys try to rob a bank, we can kill their vehicle. That way they can't get away. Or if they kidnap somebody,
Mm.
they can also say, oh, you didn't pay your bill, or oh, you got too many speeding tickets. Boop, hit a button and kill it. Just turn it off and you just can't drive it. Or miss a payment or, whatever, anything at all. I mean, this could go very, very, very far south,
Yeah.
but it might not.
Completely.
It may not.
It's always narrated for protecting the good guy from the bad guy, like you say. Like, oh, what if there's a bank robber or someone's trying to hold up something? Yeah. What if it's just a normal everyday family trying to leave their decimated city behind? Like, oh, actually, you're not leaving, so we're gonna, like people don't
Yeah.
think about it on the other side of the coin. Like, like I got young kids, man, and if shit hits the fan, then we're out of here, But I'll be jumping in my diesel truck and getting the fuck out of here because no one's pushing a button to stop me. That's for damn sure.
That's right. Crazy times, man.
I'm just trying to have a look
Yeah,
over
well,
here
it's
because
just
I'm sure they're banning diesel and petrol vehicles over here in 2030.
That's what I was about to say. I didn't want to interrupt because I had an issue with that last time. But I know that Michigan, I think, is going fully green by 2030.
Yeah.
What?
So I
That-
did a lot of research on this, and so a lot of the police vehicles, those are basically Teslas. The school buses, they're all
Dang.
and
Teslas, huh?
they're
yeah.
even swapping out police officers for drones and robots now. So that's exciting.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I've
the
actually
Tesla
seen
bot
some.
thing. I mean,
Yeah, and I've seen some police robots. I think it was in LA, and they were just patrolling around and obviously video surveillance, recording everyone, and yeah, I'm not sure how it works,
Oh,
how
just
it apprehends you or whatever, but yeah,
it,
it's mainly for surveillance. But you're pretty crazy.
it'll be like Minority Report 101. Just watch
Yeah,
Minority Report.
What a great
yeah,
movie. Great movie.
yeah, yeah.
I know. I should watch that again today, I think.
Because I
yeah,
know
for real. Until it comes true.
It's a
Get
shame.
prepared.
Shame it's got Tom
I
Cruise
know
in it, but great
California
movie.
has a huge push for renewable energy because the state has said that they want to phase out gas-powered cars by the year 2035. I mean, that's only 10 years away from now. So that's going to create obviously a huge demand for lithium. I mean, where are they getting the lithium from? You know, what state is LA in? California. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
like I said before, I don't really believe in coincidences. And when you line all these things up, like, oh, here's the LA fires, and here's the Salton Sea, Lithium Valley, huge lithium deposit reserves in the
Right
United
down the
States.
road.
Yeah, and then California, they don't want gas-powered vehicles in 10 years' time. So what's going to power them instead? Lithium. It's just like
Yep.
once you connect the dots, you realize there's more than meets the eye. It's not just about convenience and green energy. It's really not what it says at
I
all.
will say that I got salty from whoever so when North Carolina happened, that was such big news. And then I think when there was a fire in Wyoming, a couple people talked about how it burnt 400 or 40,000 acres or something, and I'm like, you guys, I have been screaming this for years, and not one major creator has helped me out. I think I've talked to news reporters, I've talked to doctors who asked me to fly myself down to Texas for podcasts. I've talked to Ian Carroll, not trying to call him out, but we're personal friends. And I give him all my information. I'm like, please, dude, help me with this.
Yeah,
Not one
Ian.
person.
How about that, Ian? You need to jump on that, buddy. I wish I could get his attention. I share your stuff on X, but I only have, I have like 700 followers on X, and
It's
I
so hard on
can't
it.
seem to gain any. But yeah, it's kind of weird, man. But yeah, that needs to be talked about more, man. And see, like, I could obviously post I put your stuff, I put y'all stuff on my backup Instagram sometime, but I don't really show my face on that, But if I tried to post that, what we're talking about on my main account, on definitely on Facebook or Instagram or even TikTok, they will for sure take the video down, guaranteed. I mean, it's just like, man, but you can post silly stuff. I mean, it's not really silly. It's still truthful stuff, like about these celebrities, but I can make a video about we were talking about this last time. I can make a video about
Hmm.
celebrities, not even say anything, be like, oh man, look at they got blonde hair and they wear pearls. Obviously
Yeah.
the deeper meaning is, yeah, then they got diddied
Right.
or they got, but
Right.
I don't even say anything, and the video get just like you, Abby, a
Yeah.
million views, 5 million views. But then you post something that's very important and people
Yeah.
need to watch, and dude, it won't get 1,000 views, 500 views. I mean it's crazy.
I
It's
got
very frustrating. That's the frustrating side of being a creator, in our niche, I guess.
Yeah, it's like I post a video of Kate Beckinsale and I get 14 million views on her face, you know, and
Yeah,
I posted
yeah.
about. I'm like, hey, look, the entire West Coast and Canada, all of their indigenous are being targeted right now by flame, by flame and fire. I think we should watch out for what minerals are there, and they're like, no, we're
Yeah,
not
not
interested.
a big deal. Yeah, yeah. It's like people just brush this stuff off, man. If they would just take the time, just spend 15 or 20 minutes, just do it. Just Google a few things that we've been talking about. It's all there. You just
Yeah,
have to look.
That's
It's all
crazy.
there.
It's like a pre-programmed AI to basically discredit in the algorithm anything of merit or value. It's like they want you to look over to the left while something absolutely nefarious and crook is happening on the right. So
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's probably on that. It's weird to say, but the videos of the least views are probably the most important ones because they're talking about real life issues.
yeah,
They're the ones that
Exactly, dude.
that you got to go and watch them before they're taken down. Community guidelines violations or fact checkers. It's like, oh, I'm pretty sure it's real, mate. Like
Yeah,
who really
exactly.
cares? Who really cares who's on the Diddy list? But millions of people will go and watch that. But when you're talking about turbo cancers or something from the vaccine, or lithium deposits being mined and stuff, people want to hear it, but yeah, the algorithm just deletes it so that the masses don't get to hear it. They want them, like you said, a nation of thinkers, not workers. They want them
That's
with
what
their
Rockefeller said, man. He
yeah,
didn't. Yep, he
head
did
down
not
and
want
bum up.
thinkers.
If people are asking questions, then they're not so easily manipulated and controlled. So once you realize the narrative that yeah, it's all about control and keeping people numb and dumb. They don't want people to know the truth. So yeah, it's a very frustrating part of sort of being creator and pushing that message out there. But that's why this podcast is good, because we want to be able to educate as many different people on these subjects and get them sort of thinking outside the square, because this stuff's dangerous and it's happening all around us. And once you connect the dots, you know that there's actually more here than meets the eye. It's not just about green energy and having a car that you don't need to put petrol in. It's decimating the planet. It's causing huge health concerns. It's doing irreversible damage.
Think about our grandkids, dude. Like, imagine all four of us right now. Imagine our grandkids. I mean, that's just the stuff I try not to worry about it. That's, you know what I mean? Because we don't know. But if I don't know, man, I just wish there was something that we could do, to open people's eyes and actually make them see. But then, you got the almighty powerful world governments, the old scary governments, that they're gung ho about it. And all of them are getting paid. All the people, that are below the leaders, the whole chain of command is, most of them allegedly are getting a fat paycheck. So they're not going to want to stop, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because
they're
that's
paid to look the
millions of
other way.
dollars for them.
I think what I find so discouraging is my main audience is. I'm trying to be careful about how I say this, but I was a Republican, a conservative, but the right has become the left. They act just like them. It's insane. I'm worried about the Christian community as well, because I've been getting attacked for some of the stuff I've been posting. It's insane. But it's they are so faithful
Blind.
to Trump. Yes, that they can't even see what I'm saying. It was like you saw Clark. They were trying to dox me because I'm like, hey, Trump is actually the one who ushered in this entire lithium mining. I mean, he doesn't hide it. It's not a conspiracy. You can find documents on it. And he said he made us number one in mineral mining. Like, I don't understand why you're coming at me. They
go crazy about it too, like you said. I mean, because they're so, I don't want to say stubborn, but they're so closed-minded, and there's people that are like actual, like, quote, truthers like us, but they're so hardcore Republican, that they don't even see it. They refuse to see it. They refuse to even say, hey, maybe it's a bad idea. They don't. It aggravates me too. Big time.
Because the divide of politics has worked. I mean, I have never seen families separated. I'm talking like husbands and wives. Because of I'm starting at the COVID vaccine and this whole left versus right, how now it's the extreme right, now it's the extreme left. They're all extremists and they act psychotic over politics. Yeah, we don't have a say on any of it. We don't have a say on any of it.
Yeah, we've got that.
No, we really don't.
I think what we'll do, guys, we've been on for 45 minutes. We'll have this as part one. Thanks, Steve, Clark, Abby. Really, really good stuff in part one. We'll go away. We'll be back very, very soon with part two. Don't forget, wherever you're listening to this, don't forget to like, follow, share, subscribe, whatever you do on the platform of your choice. And go ahead and listen to part two after you finish this. Cheers, guys. We'll see you soon.
Asleep on the couch. TV was blaring loud, drew hands from your mouth. It's hard to watch you in this way. Always battling and constantly struggling. But remember, I'll never let you down. Be with you till the day I die. And I'll always be around. We'll stick it out to the end. The dishes are piling up and your standards are dropping. The same old jumper, the stenches blend into one. You've gone nose blind and your laugh's got weaker. and I'll never let you down, and I'll never let you down, and I'll never let you down. I'll never let you down, be with you till the day I